Breaking: Joshua, founder of Synagogue Church, is dead. Popular Nigerian pastor and founder of one of the most popular church in Nigeria, Synagogue Church of All Nations, SCOAN, Joshua, is reportedly dead. Based on reports from family sources who did not want to be quoted, says an official report to that effect will soon be out. He was 57. The immediate cause of his death is yet to be disclosed. However, sources close to the family said his remains had been deposited at the morgue and an autopsy would be performed afterwards. Joshua's reign as a powerful televangelist has spanned for decades as a fiery preacher on television, and numerous Christians from across the world have been following his programs. Emmanuel TV, run by his Synagogue Church of All Nations, is one of Nigeria's largest Christian broadcast stations, available worldwide via digital and terrestrial switches. He was awarded various accolades, notably receiving the Officer of the Order of Niger, Federal Republic (OFR), by the Nigerian government in 2008, and being voted the Yoruba Man of the Decade by pan-Yoruba media outlet Irohin Odua. He was called one of the Africa's 50 most influential people by Pan-African magazines, the Africa Report and New African magazine. As of 2011, according to Forbes, Joshua was Nigeria's third richest pastor, although the claim was immediately denied in a statement by the church. He was known to be controversial and was even blacklisted by the government of Cameroon in 2010. In 2014, his church was at the center of a multinational investigation following a section of his church headquarters in Lagos collapse, leaving dozens killed and many more injured. Mr. Joshua denied allegations of negligence, and a trial over incident was still underway prior to his demise. According to Joshua's official biography, unusual circumstances surrounded his birth. He said that he spent 15 months in his mother's womb and narrowly avoided death after a quarry explosion near his house sent rocks through its roof just 7 days after his birth. It's also alleged that Joshua's birth was prophesied 100 years prior. Joshua, then known as Balogun Francis, attended St. Stephen's Anglican Primary School in Arigidi, Akoko, Nigeria between 1971 and 1977, but failed to complete 1 year of secondary school education in school. He was known as Small Pastor because of his love for the Bible. He worked in various casual jobs after his schooling had ended, including carrying chicken waste at a poultry farm. He organized Bible studies for local children and attended evening school during this period. Joshua attempted to join the Nigerian military but was thwarted due to a train breakdown that left him stranded en route to the military academy. Joshua wrote that in a heavenly vision he had received divine anointing and a covenant from God to start his ministry. Following this, Joshua founded the ministry organization, the Synagogue Church of All Nations, SCOAN. According to the organization, more than 15,000 members attend its weekly Sunday service. Visitors from outside Nigeria are accommodated in the accommodation blocks constructed at the church. The Guardian reported that the Church of Christ for All Nations attracts more weekly attendees than the combined number of visitors to Buckingham Palace and the Tower of London. The SCOAN's popular service has also resulted in an enormous boost for local businesses and hoteliers. Despite Joshua's popularity, the church only has a branch in Ghana. Joshua stating that it is not yet time for him to have branches worldwide, as it will be too much for my character. Religious tourism has been described as Nigeria's biggest tourist attraction and the most visited destination by religious tourists in West Africa, with thousands of foreigners flocking to attend the church's weekly service. Figures released by the Nigerian Immigration Service indicated that 6 out of every 10 foreign travelers come into Nigeria are bound for the Church of Christ for All Nations, as fact discussed in Zimbabwean parliament when addressing the economic potentials of the religious tourism. This day newspaper reported that about 2 million local and inbound tourists visit the Church of Christ for All Nations annually. The church's popularity has led to an increase in flight routes to Lagos from several African countries. Potential relocation to Israel. Joshua's contribution to Nigeria's religious tourism was highlighted when the cleric hinted at the possibility of relocating his ministry to Israel during a Sunday service. The announcement proved controversial, with several prominent Nigerians urging him to remain in the country, citing the economic setbacks Nigeria will likely experience through his potential relocation. Now, purported healings and miracle. The Church of Christ for All Nations claims regular occurrence of divine miracles. Several hundred Nigerians and international visitors come to the Church of Christ for All Nations each week to register for prayer lines, where the visitors are prayed over by Joshua. Church of Christ for All Nations has published numerous videos claiming to document the healing of incurable disabilities and illness such as HIV/AIDS, blindness, and open wounds. Spiritual healing at the Church of Christ for All Nations has been the subject of several media reports, including a mention in Time magazine, an Associated Press interview, and an article by Foreign Policy detailing the tendency of Nigerians to seek spiritual help due to insufficient medical facilities. A huge debate was stirred within Nigeria when the father of the abducted schoolgirl, Eseoruru, stated his intention to take his daughter to tbjoshua for prayers following her release. Similarly, a leaked report stating the intention of Nigeria's embattled former petroleum minister Diezani Alison Madueke to visit Joshua for spiritual support in her battle against breast cancer elicited controversy. Anointing water. Many have also claimed to be healed through anointing water that has been prayed over by Joshua and given to those who are unable to physically attend his church in Lagos. Others claim they were protected from deadly incidents because they had the water with them. In 2013, 4 people died in a stampede in Joshua's Ghanaian branch when an unadvertised service where it was being distributed drew huge crowds for being the church capacity, bringing Ghana's capital city Accra almost to a standstill. Joshua also made headlines when he claimed his anointing water could cure the deadly disease Ebola. He subsequently sent 4,000 bottles of water alongside a cash gift of $50,000 to Ebola-stricken nation of Sierra Leone. This came after a Lagos state health official visited Joshua, requesting him to publicly discourage Ebola victims from visiting his church for prayers. A Sierra Leonean politician later claimed the water helped stop the spread of disease and cured several Ebola victims. Now, on his foreign visits, he traveled to Korea, Singapore, Indonesia, Australia, Colombia, Mexico, Peru, and Paraguay to hold crusades. He also visited Israel to receive a humanitarian award from Zaka, visit biblical sites. His miracle crusade in Cali, Colombia in July 2014 was allegedly attended by 100,000 people and held in Estadio Olímpico Pascual Guerrero. He traveled to iconic Estadio Azteca in Mexico, which was allegedly attended by 200,000 people over 2 days in May 2015. Joshua's 2-day visit to Estadio Monumental U in Lima, Peru, attracted nearly 100,000 in September 2016, making headlines in local Peruvian media. In August 2017, Joshua held a crusade in Paraguay as Estadio Defensores del Chaco. His visit caused a media storm when the Paraguayan parliament approved the cleric be awarded with National Order of Merit, the country's highest honor usually reserved only for its own citizens. Testimonies from those who alleged they were healed through Joshua's prayer at the crusade made headlines in the local media. Nazareth. In June 2019, Joshua held a 2-day event at the amphitheater of Mount Precipice in Nazareth, Israel, the historic hometown of Jesus Christ. The event was subject of intense media scrutiny. Local religious officials told their followers to boycott the event, and several small protests were held calling for its cancellation. However, an estimated 15,000 traveled from over 50 nations to attend the event, significantly boosting local tourism.